Today we're taking a look at our Pentax K to Fujifilm X-mount DLX Stretch adapter. This is a lens adapter with two amazing built-in features. First, it's got a macro helicoid ring. You rotate this ring to extend the adapted Pentax K lens out to up to 10 millimeters of macro extension, which basically turns any adapted Pentax K lens into a macro focusing lens. And this adapter also has 3 drop-in magnetic ND filters to add ND filtration behind your adapted lens. This is an all-metal adapter. As you can see, it's a very durable, slick design. It'll fit in really well with your professional Fujifilm X-mount gear. And here is where you mount the Pentax K lens here on the front. Then here on the back is the part that mounts to your Fujifilm X-mount mirrorless camera. And this ring right here is our macro helicoid ring. This extends the macro helicoid. Now it's a bit tricky to extend when you don't have it attached to a camera, but I'll try to show you right here. As you can see, as I'm rotating this black ring, I'm extending the lens mount 10 millimeters. And by adding that extra amount of space between the adapted Pentax K lens and the Fujifilm X-mount camera, we're increasing the minimum focus of a Pentax K lens so it can focus closer up. And basically, this adapter will give almost any Pentax K lens macro focusing ability. This adapter also comes with 3 drop-in magnetic ND filters. The filters are ND4, ND8, and ND16. And ND filters are a great way to control the exposure of your shot, especially if you're shooting in bright sunlight and you want to shoot shallow depth of field video, or if you want to do a long exposure. Let's take the ND16 filter, and it's simple. You simply flip over the adapter to where it mounts the camera, and you just drop in the magnetic ND filter. It magnets into place, and to remove it, you can actually go like that into your palm. Otherwise, it will stay in place pretty firmly. We've had some people ask if this filter will get jiggled out, and no, it cannot get jiggled out. You would literally have to slam this adapter and your camera and lens into a wall for the ND filter to move. Otherwise, it is magneted firmly in place. Now, how exactly do lens adapters work? How am I able to adapt a vintage film lens like this to a modern mirrorless digital camera like this? Well, it all comes down to focal flange distance. This is a Pentax K SLR lens. It was designed to mount on a Pentax K SLR film camera. And the SLRs had a flappy mirror that would go between where the film went and the lens. The lens would take the image and would project it onto a film plane about here. So this was your flange distance for this lens. And because the mirrorless camera's focal flange distance is so much thinner, if we want to adapt a lens like this, we're going to need extra space going between where the lens mounts and where the camera begins. And that gives us just enough space to mount an adapter. And not just any adapter. We can do a basic adapter, but we can also do an adapter like the DLX Stretch that has built-in macro helicoid and drop-in ND filters. This adapter is compatible with all Pentax K-mount lenses. Now, I will say, because this adapter does have a macro helicoid built into it, if you put a really, really heavy Pentax K lens on here, it would put some strain on the helicoid. So be advised, if you're going to do that, that you will have a little bit more strain on the helicoid. But otherwise, the majority of Pentax K lenses will work great with this adapter. And yeah, you can pretty much use it with any Pentax K lens you've got. This is also a fully manual adapter. As you can see on the bottom here, there are no electronic communication pins or on the front. So this adapter will not electronically communicate between your Fujifilm X-mount camera and your Pentax K lens. Now, with most Pentax K lenses, that won't be a problem because they're fully manual anyway. But if you do happen to have a newer Pentax K lens with some electronics in it, you will not have any electronic communication between the adapter and your mirrorless camera, and you will have to do all of your focusing and aperture adjustments manually. Now, with this kind of adapter, we recommend shooting in manual mode on your mirrorless camera, or you can use some of the supported program modes. Here's how to mount a Pentax K lens on this adapter. First off, you're going to want to find the red mounting dot on the lens, and then we're going to line it up with the red mounting dot on the adapter, and we're going to press the lens into the adapter, like so, and then we're going to rotate it to lock it to the adapter. There we go. Now we've got this Pentax K lens mounted to our adapter. If you want to remove the lens, there's actually this little silver button here, but this actually isn't a button. It's actually a lever. You're going to slide it away from the lens towards the adapter. That unlocks the locking pin in the adapter, and then you rotate the lens to remove it. And we often get questions about the play in our adapters. So let me show you right here. I'm rotating the lens against the adapter. And you can hear some clicking. That's the locking pin clicking. But there's fairly minimal movement there. It's a pretty tight fit. So yeah, that's pretty tight. Now let's mount the adapter and lens onto our Fujifilm camera. We're using an old XE1 camera, but this will work on any Fujifilm X-mount cameras. So let's just line up the red mounting dot on the adapter with the red mounting dot on the camera. Again, press them together and rotate the adapter to lock it to the camera. And then if you need to remove the adapter and lens from your camera, it's super simple. You do it just like you would remove a normal Fujifilm X lens. Just press the lens release button down and remove the adapter and lens. Let's check the play between the adapter and camera. And yeah, there's a little bit of play there. You can hear the clicking, but it's not a lot of rotation, and it's not going to affect the image in any way. The lens is being held up straight, and it's not going to affect your focus or anything like that. There's just a little bit of play between the adapter and camera. Now, before we get to the fun part of shooting with this adapter, we do have to set up one setting in our Fujifilm X camera so it will work with this adapter. To set up this camera to shoot with an adapted lens, we're going to go into Menu, and we're going to go to Submenu 3 and go all the way down to the bottom. Select Shoot Without Lens and turn it on. This setting tells the camera that it has permission to shoot without having to detect a Fujifilm X-mount lens. Now, the setting might be in a different place in different Fujifilm X-mount cameras, but you're going to want to look for Shoot Without Lens. It'll be there somewhere in the menu system. Now, our DLX Stretch adapters have 3 basic functions, and the first function is pretty simple, just functioning as a regular everyday lens adapter. If we leave everything set to normal, this works just like a standard adapter. You can use the lens normally, focus to infinity, and just take pictures with it like you would any manual lens. The second feature is the macro feature, and we engage that feature by rotating this black ring on the adapter, and that engages the built-in macro helicoid inside the adapter. And if we rotate it all the way, we extend the Pentax K lens out to 10 extra millimeters of extension. And by extending the lens farther away from the camera mount, we lose infinity focus, which means we can no longer focus on infinity, shoot a landscape. But now we can focus close up. By rotating this ring, we have turned this adapted lens into a macro lens. And that's really useful depending on what lens you're using. In this case, this is a vintage Pentax K lens that has a minimum focus of 1 foot. So it doesn't focus very close up at all. You have to be at least 1 foot away from your subject to be in focus. But when we extend this macro helicoid out to 10 millimeters, we can get much, much closer to our subject, and we can capture beautiful macro shots like these. To get the most macro out of this adapter, not only are you going to extend 10 millimeters, but you're also going to want to focus your lens to its minimum focus distance. So we're at the minimum focus distance, plus we're adding the 10 millimeters of macro extension, and we can focus much closer up now. Now, to know exactly how much more focus we're getting with this lens, we do have to do a basic mathematical equation, and I'll show you how to do that right now. We're actually going to use this macro tube calculator I found online. Super useful. I'll link it in the description below. And first off, we have to put in the native magnification or the maximum magnification of the lens. I looked it up online. It is 0.13x. So let's type that in there. The lens is a 28 millimeter lens, so let's put in 28. And then the extension amount is 10 millimeters. Let's calculate that. Okay, so our new magnification is 0.49x, and our new closest focusing distance is 127.1 millimeters. So as you can see, we can now focus the lens much closer than a foot. And again, if you're interested in using this extension tube calculator, I've got the link in the description below. Now, you're not always going to need that much macro focus, so you can always just set your lens to infinity focus and just adjust the macro focus through this wheel. And yeah, you don't have to be at 10 millimeters. You can be at 5 millimeters, 2 millimeters. You have full focal adjustment with this macro helicoid built into the adapter. So you can pretty much set it to whatever you need for your shot. And the third function with this camera are obviously the drop-in magnetic ND filters. Like I said earlier, we've got an ND4, ND8, and ND16, and these filters drop directly into the rear of the adapter. I'll show you right here. Let's go with the ND16. Let's go maximum. And you're just going to drop it into the back of the adapter. And like I showed earlier, these magnets are very strong. They are not going anywhere. So yeah, these are gonna stay in place. They're very firmly magneted into place. If magneted is a word, I'm not sure if it is. Okay, we've got the ND filter in the adapter. Now we just mount it back onto our camera. And now we have an ND16 filter mounted between our lens and camera. It's actually kind of nice to have the ND filter built back there. First off, if you are changing your Pentax K lens, if you've got multiple lenses you're using in the field, that ND filter is protecting your camera's sensor. Also, if you're switching between different Pentax K lenses, you don't have to worry about getting a different sized ND filter for each lens. You got the ND built right back in there, and you can remove the ND if you don't need it. And yeah, you've got the 3 ND settings, ND4, ND8, and ND16. So pretty much on the ND front, you are set with this adapter. ND filters are great for controlling exposure. If you're shooting in bright conditions and you need to cut some of the light, just throw an ND filter in this adapter. They're also great for long exposure photos. If you're shooting in bright conditions, throw that ND filter in there, slow down your shutter speed for beautiful long exposure shots. Okay, that'll do it for today's video. If you'd like to learn more about this adapter, click the link in the description below. Now, we don't just offer the Pentax K to Fujifilm X DLX Stretch adapter. We carry an entire line of DLX Stretch adapters for various mirrorless cameras and adapted lenses. And to learn about all of those, click the link in the description below. And if you have any questions or comments about this adapter or anything I said in today's video, comment below. I'd love to help you out. Plus, click right here to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more videos just like this one. I'm Sean with Fotodiox.com, and thanks for watching.